I was skeptical about visiting an indoor park amidst the pandemic. I was especially skeptical to visit an indoor water park as I knew masks would not be required, unlike what we saw at many amusement parks this summer. But after seeing how well the American Dream Mall handled the reopening of Nickelodeon Universe, I decided to give the DreamWorks Water Park a chance on a weekday, figuring it would be less crowded, and I came away very impressed. In this video, I will cover what safety measures the water park has implemented following its reopening, and cover whether or not it's worth visiting at this time. To visit, you must schedule your visit in advance with a pre-purchased ticket online for a specific day. They are currently only selling full-day tickets. They are not blocking the day into sessions like the Nickelodeon Universe theme park is doing on weekends, or like the DreamWorks Water Park did when they originally opened. This could change depending on crowds, so just keep tabs on it. The park is currently open 12 to 7 on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and on holidays. It's open 1 to 6 on other days. Again, this is another thing that could change based on demand. The park is currently charging $89 on weekends and holidays for adults. The park is charging $79 on weekdays. Children, seniors, and military personnel get a roughly $10 to $15 reduction from these prices. So, there's no getting around it. This is a very expensive water park. It's the most expensive water park in the world. It costs even more than the Disney water parks or Universal's Volcano Bay. However, I would argue that it is worth it. Here's the big reason. The park is currently allowing only 750 people maximum in the park. The park is operating at roughly 1/8 capacity. This is more restrictive than New Jersey's allowance. New Jersey is currently allowing a venue like this to operate at 25% capacity, and this water park has a maximum capacity of roughly 5,600 people. So if you visit on a weekday like I did, it is a complete ghost town. They have not sold out any weekdays yet. I don't even think there was 100 people total in the park the day I visited. This made me very comfortable. I was comfortable enough to attend because it was super easy to space out with this few people. Plus, there were no lines, so it allowed me to ride 8 to 10 water slides per hour. The only limiter was how quickly you could climb up the towers. The best way to think about the price of the ticket right now is think of it as an admission ticket plus a skip the line pass. Yes, it's still pricey, but I felt like I was a VIP because the park was that empty. I could ride anything that I wanted all day long. It's also worth noting that the park was intending to offer a Turbo Pass paid skip the line option, but it's not currently being used as it's completely unnecessary with the attendance caps and how few people are currently visiting the park. Because of this, I wouldn't be shocked if the park further reduced weekday hours because of how light the crowds were. When you go to visit the DreamWorks Water Park, the entrance is adjacent to Nickelodeon Universe. When you arrive, you show your barcode at the entrance and proceed down to where the ticket booths will typically be. Like many of the parks, you are not allowed to attend if you have been diagnosed with COVID in the past few days, had any of the symptoms associated with COVID, or been a close contact to anyone who has had COVID. If you have any of these scenarios come to be, the park will allow you to reschedule your visit for free. Once downstairs, you need to pass a temperature check. This is the same touchless scanner that's being used at Nickelodeon Universe. The maximum cutoff is 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit. You then go to where the ticket booth is normally and get an RFID wristband you will use for lockers. Lockers are currently $12 for a small, $15 for a medium, and $20 for a large, and there were plenty of them. Now let's talk about masks. The park is asking that guests wear masks in the changing rooms and in common areas. You are allowed to wear the masks walking around and in queue lines. However, masks are not allowed on any body slide. Masks were allowed on most raft slides, though. The park's big concern is that masks can be a safety hazard while on a water slide, which is understandable for any of the ones that drop you in a splashdown pool. I recommend grabbing a washable face mask because it will hold up better from getting wet as opposed to something like a surgical mask. Now let's talk about the rides and attractions. Every single ride and attraction was open with the exception of 2 of them. The Forbidden Waters hot tubs and King Julian's Pineapple Jam swim-up bar. Those are completely understandable because of how close proximity you would be to other guests. All the water slides ran without any downtime, with the exception of Toothless's Trickling Tornado Water Coaster. This attraction had bouts of downtime midday, unrelated to the pandemic. An empty test raft had gotten stuck and the ride kept triggering faults, but once it was fixed, it ran the rest of the day. Some of the slides do require 2 riders minimum. Toothless's Trickling Tornado Water Coaster, Swamp and Splash Mini Funnel Slide, Dragon and Donkey's Flight, yes, it's Donkey, not Donkey, the Mini Bowl Slide, and Shrek's Sinkhole Slammer, the gigantic funnel water slide. These 4 attractions are among the best water slides in the entire park, so keep that in mind if you're coming alone or visiting with someone who won't want to ride these water slides. The park will not pair parties up this year. This is because they don't want to assume any liability. However, they will allow you to ride with another group if you yourself initiate the pairing. The park also has a few other measures that you could find at Nickelodeon Universe. First, there are one-way markers to control crowd flow, and distance markers in the queue lines. However, the latter were never needed because there was literally no one waiting for any slide during my visit. Second, the park does not allow re-entry currently. Third, the ticket says there will be limited food and drink options. I did see some vending machines, but if there were any service counters, I completely missed them. Now, the big question is, do I recommend visiting in 2020 after the pandemic shut down? And I would say yes. On a weekday, crowds are so low that you can ride water slides non-stop open to close. And this park has an excellent lineup with some intense drop pod water slides, my personal favorite water coaster, and several great raft slides. The park will likely be busier on weekends. That's how it is for any water park. However, the DreamWorks Water Park has so many attractions and is admitting so few people that it's still a better value than it was before the pandemic, in my opinion. It would still be very easy to ride a ton of slides on a weekend and space yourself out from other guests. Plus, you do have 2 extra hours of time at the park. Tomorrow, I plan to release a full review of the DreamWorks Water Park. This review will cover what you can expect in a more or less general year. This review will touch on the atmosphere, the excellent water slide lineup, and just the overall guest experience. This video was intended to show what changes were implemented following the lockdown. And in general, I would recommend visiting this park. Again, yes, it's pricey, but with so few people in the park, you basically are being treated to a VIP experience and can ride as many water slides as you want open to close. If you did enjoy this video, I would appreciate if you gave it a like and considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more amusement park and roller coaster videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.